what's happened in the latest flashpoint is there's this anti-India leader, pretty rabid,
Yeah.
called Sharif Osman Hadi, who has been killed. This happened a few days ago, and it's the trigger point for our discussion as well. Now, the question, Sandeep, to my mind is this sort of anti-India sentiment
Yeah.
that you are seeing in Bangladesh right now, the anti-founder sentiment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if this is where I want you to come in. Whether these two strands go together.
Yeah.
That there is a sentiment against the man who founded your country,
Right.
and also the country that's been a very good friend of yours, the country that helped in your liberation
Yeah.
struggle. So, where are these two anti-sentiments coming from?
Yeah.
Do they go hand in hand?
So good question, Dev. Now, the thing is that, and here I have to quote my friend General Ravi Shankar, who's, because the point that he made about Bangladesh is very interesting. A couple of months back, we were talking, where he says that, what happened in 1971 is that India took Bangladesh out of Pakistan, but they didn't take the Pakistan out of Bangladesh.
Nice.
Right. So when you go deeper into the politics of 1971 and the run-up to the liberation of Bangladesh, you realize that there was a very sizable population within Bangladesh that were entirely pro-Pakistan. They were actually what Jamaat comes from. And then you understand how the ruling military junta in East Pakistan was able to recruit Razakars.
Yeah.
They, the Al-Badr and those kind of Razakars, who were basically militias, which they used then to hunt down Awami Leaguers, intellectuals, students, all of those kind of things, right? And minorities, of course. Now, these people have kind of been there in the population and they lie low. So what happens is that when I was there, I was told this thing that, this guy, just be careful, don't mingle too much, don't speak too much to him because, he's BNP and they're just waiting to come back. And they hadn't been back in power in about 15 years. But there's that radical strand, which is not BNP. The BNP is not as radical as the Jamaat. Now, the BNP is actually a political party. They're committed to the democratic process. They believe in elections and all of that. The Jamaat is not. The Jamaat's end state is for Sharia to be imposed in Bangladesh, right? And they believe in the concept of the caliphate and all of that, right? They are a far-right Islamist party, and that's their agenda. Now, what has happened is that this violent, virulent, right-wing Islamist strand has always been there in East Pakistan. And let's not forget that you've had some horrific riots at partition, pre-partition, 1946. You've had massacres, you've had the Direct Action Day and all of that. So there's been a very violent Islamist strand within the freedom movement of Pakistan as well, in Bengal. And that has always been below the surface. The Awami League is the moderate, secular, progressive part. And we've always, for obvious reasons, sided with the Awami League. And I must tell you this, Dev, that, in the 15 years that Sheikh Hasina has been in power in Bangladesh have been the best years for India-Bangladesh relations. And I'm here looking at it. I'm looking at Bangladesh from purely India perspective, right? Yeah. What was Bangladesh before Sheikh Hasina came to power, before her nearly 10 years back to back? It was a hub of Islamists. It was a hub of, illegal activities, all directed at India. And if you go back into time, 1971, what is one of the biggest reasons that RN Cow wanted to go into East Pakistan, to liberate East Pakistan, to, break it away from the West? It was that the fact that the ISI, they've had their bases in East Pakistan from the 1950s, not the 60s or the 70s. Right from the 1950s, the Chittagong Hill Tracts, in fact, were used as a springboard for insurgencies across northeastern India, whether it is the Manipur insurgency, the Naga insurgency, the Mizo insurgency. All the training camps were in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. And this is why late 60s, RN Cow says we need to break Bangladesh away from Pakistan, because it's going to be a sore, it's going to be a thorn in our backside otherwise, forever, in our backyard, backside, whatever you want to call it. And that's one of the motivating factors for the breakaway of, the creation of Bangladesh. Why Kao wanted a free Bangladesh. And of course, he's sent in his covert units, the SFF and all were infiltrated into the Chittagong Hill tracks to, basically knock out those Pakistan military camps over there. So when you have cut to nearly half a century later, under Sheikh Hasina, you have a Bangladesh that is very responsive to India's security needs. We are very acutely aware of the Northeast, the problems that we have, the insurgencies. You have China to the north. You have a hostile China to the north, in fact. And now what you have in 2025 and spilling over into 2026 is a hostile Bangladesh as well, right? So that thing of a chicken's neck, the dilemma, of course, I'm sure we will talk about it in a bit, is a very real problem. And that this is what happens when you have a country that's, hostile to your interests, kind of going back to what it was pre-1971.